Flashpoint Radio, rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen. The unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Good morning and welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? I know I'm flying solo this morning. Yeah, Mikey G is on his own this morning. I'm flying solo, and so this morning I want to say welcome. This morning's Wellness Wednesday with a difference. We touched on a few topics in the past. We are looking at men's health all month. This month is June, and so June is designated as Men's Month and Men's Health. Of course, yesterday we had a conversation with a gentleman by the name of Mr. Curtis Mason, who owns the company called Asai Ultrasound, which deals with the tracking of various illnesses within your body. And so this morning we want to talk a little bit more on the topics that we actually explored. Men's health, prostate health, heart health, and of course mental health for men. Of course, this morning I want to say like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and hit the like button now, and then go to subscribe. If you have not subscribed before, please go there and do it. Of course, it's time for a devotional when we come back.
Build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509. Need help to produce your podcast? Flashpoint Media makes it very easy. We can relieve you of the headache by recording your podcast for you. So, take the first step to getting your content to your desired audience. Contact us here at Flashpoint and your podcast will be live in no time. Our website is www.flashpointmedia.ky or call us at 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969.
So we had a little trouble with our devotion this morning, so we're going to go right into our special feature this morning. It's Wellness Wednesday, and Dr. K is here with us this morning to talk a little bit more on our health, do a little bit more about men's health. It's almost the end of June, and so she's going to be recapping some of the things that we talked about, and then we may add a few new items to that. Of course, when we come back, Dr. K will join me this morning for our Wellness Wednesday. Stay tuned.
Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee. Yes, it's me, Earthquake. I coming Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced. And when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of way. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't go to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take for yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
It's Wellness Wednesday. Welcome back, and I'm joined this morning by Dr. K. This morning, you're a well-noted physician, and we have been talking a lot about men's health on these seminars or these morning programs. Dr. K, good morning to you. How are you today?
Good morning, Mikey G. I'm good today. How are you?
I think I need to turn up your microphone a little bit. Let me ask again. Good morning, Dr. K. How are you?
Good morning, Mikey G. I'm good. How are you this morning?
Sounding good. I'm fine, thank you. I felt last night that I had one of the best sleep. And I'm thinking you're going to be talking a little bit more on sleep at some point. If you're sleep deprived or the deficiencies of sleep and what can interrupt sleep. I think I got a good sleep last night, so I'm rested. I'm well, I'm thankful, and this morning we're here to talk a little bit more on some of the topics that you had discussed earlier. Men's health. It's June, and I understand the month of June has the distinct flower, the roses, to be the flower of June. So, men's health, prostate health, heart health, and mental health. We touched on those topics earlier on throughout this month. And this morning, I'm thinking you're going to be looking and do a little overview on some of these things for some of our listeners who may have missed some of those episodes. And if you have any new questions that you want to ask, our Facebook page is up and open. Our YouTube page is up and running. Please type in the comments, leave your comment there, or ask a question so we can have them with your esteemed doctor this morning. Dr. K, the floor is yours. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I suppose next week I'll have to talk about the benefits of sleep.
The benefits of sleep for Mikey G, right?
For everybody.
Right.
And what happens when you're sleep deprived and how much sleep you need to get. So we'll talk about that next week. But this morning we're just finishing up men's health, and we were thinking that we'd have Q&A, question and answers today. But we'll just do a recap on what we spoke about. First, we spoke about prostate health. And we know that maintaining a good prostate is crucial, especially as men age. And the problems with the prostate that we need to address would be benign prostatic hypertrophy, prostatitis, and prostate cancer. And men need to do regular screenings. You can do your rectal examination, which a lot of men don't particularly like, But as we talked about, as Mr. Mason came on yesterday and introduced his new location and change of his name to Akai Diagnostic, Asai Diagnostic, and something another, means not Asai Ultrasound anymore, is a diagnostic comprehensive center. So you can get your ultrasound done. So for the men who do not want the rectal examination, they can actually get their PSA and an ultrasound done in order to check their prostate. Okay?
Wow.
Noted that a rectal examination is probably cheaper. You go to your doctor and your doctor will do a
Well,
rectal examination, but you'd
uh,
have to pay for that ultrasound.
I would imagine. I would imagine the it is it. I can imagine it would be cheaper. That I mean, I could imagine that would be much cheaper than just to pay for. But having said that, men, I believe. All right.
So there are things that you can do to maintain a good
All
prostate.
right.
Health,
Yes,
a healthy.
I was just saying that by just saying that a while ago, it triggers that in me, and I know many men find that to be the cause of them not wanting to go to do the examination. So, um, with that being said, I believe that we have to find a way around that thought of how to figure this out, um, because it has become an obstacle and a blocker for a lot of us. Unless you're
And
in
that's where
that,
the ultrasound is there.
that's why the ultrasound is there. All right, Doc.
So there's the ultrasound, and so men can get their prostate checked, and they should get their prostate checked at least by the time they're 50. And if they have a family history of prostate enlargement or prostate cancer or anything, they should actually get their prostate checked earlier than 50, 40s possibly. Um, the problem is, as I said, as you age, your prostate enlarges. And when your prostate enlarges, that's where the problem occurs. So if you notice that you're having problems with your stream, passing urine more often than usual, not being able to hold that urine, it's possible that something is happening with your prostate and it's time to have a talk with your doctor. The risk factor for prostate cancer is being black,
Mm.
getting older, and a family history. Those are the main risk factors. So, as black men, we need to encourage our black men to always get their prostate checked. Okay? So, regular checks, having a healthy lifestyle, eating properly, exercising, um, staying away from alcohol and smoking can actually maintain your prostate health.
So, so Doc, you're saying then a healthy lifestyle, which means if you maintain that, you more likely will not be able to have these conditions. And this is not just for prostate health. This is possible for
Everything.
just about a plethora of different health issues that you could possibly get. The big question would be why healthy living is not um, the biggest promoter
Promoted more.
of healthcare than Medicare. I don't want to answer that in particularly. I'm not posing a question for you to answer. I'm just
Yeah, but healthy living is promoted. It's just that because people are not living healthy, then the medication comes into play.
well, I see the fast food commercials a lot. I see a lot of food commercials, but healthy living commercials I'm not seeing much of those. I'm not seeing a lot of healthy. I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not looking in the right places. Maybe my where I find my information maybe not conducive to having these features. But when I look and see advertisement going on, I don't see a lot of healthy living advertisement as much as unhealthy living advertisement. You know, and this is where my mind goes. It's not an abundance of it. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just saying it is there. I've listened to it. I've seen it. But as I recall, I don't recall it coming to my mind to say I can think of a ad of a healthy living lifestyle that comes to mind just off the bat. But I can think of a number of different advertisements that are unhealthy that comes to mind that I can just think about right now. That just came to my mind. So
And that's unfortunate. But I
that's
suppose
unfortunate.
it's a media thing. So I don't know. But when we talked about prostate, and the next week we talked about men and heart disease. And if you put up that little chart to say that um, we talked about the effect that men and women have heart disease. There's a disparity, especially premenopausal women and men, and that's because of the protective effect of estrogen and progesterone. Men have a smaller amount, and also testosterone gives some protective effect. And as testosterone wanes, then men are more likely to lose that benefit. And so we had looked at men and women around age 20 to 39. They tend to have a similar incidence of heart attacks and heart disease as the people age 40 to 59. Men are 7.8%, while women are 5.5%. And these women are still, um, basically, you see the ages, the amount of heart attacks and heart disease in women um, going up. And that's because women between 40 and 59 now are actually um, getting menopausal. So their risk increases. But even when women become menopausal, 60 to 79 age, men still have a higher increase of heart disease than women, 22.8% as opposed to 15.4. And as they still get older, greater than 80 years old, men will still have an increased risk. So if you notice that when it comes on to men and women compared with heart disease, men are as men are way ahead.
I was about to say that now because I'm looking at the chart. You know, let me pull the chart up. I'm looking at the chart, and just looking at it shows that vulnerability of men that somehow we are so susceptible to dying from this disease more than everybody. And you're telling me that you're giving me the factors why women are not. But yeah, I'm not. I don't want. I didn't want to guide it by the fact that it's like I had a friend one time that said, he treated me nice, good, but because and how did he treat me good? Because this other gentleman had some friends and he treated them much worse than how he treats me. You know, so that guides him to say he treats me good, and that's what I'm seeing. I don't want to measure it between versus men and women, that the women are dying less, and so that is a measurement. You see where I'm going? That because they are less affected, that's where I'm going to say, boy, I am at a higher risk. I want to say, just leave the women out completely and just look at the attack that is both on men and women, which at any level, you know, and to see the and to see how much we are under attack and what is attacking us
But the
so
point is
badly.
that I do not think it's a matter of being under attack. Why are you talking about being under attack? It's not a matter of under attack. These are just differences in men and women. For example, as I said to you, the hormonal differences there. Men tend to engage in lifestyle that might put them at risk. For example, they might have risky behavior, unhealthy diets, smoking, alcohol consumption that puts them at risk for higher rates of heart disease. Not to mention, men tend to handle stress different from women. So because they have they tend to be more prone to handling their stress in a different way. family stress, work stress, not to mention the fact that they might become more hostile and anger issues. So they're more at risk for getting heart disease. So it's just a disparity between who men are and
I,
who
I, I,
women.
I got to
There's not
that.
a matter of being
But,
attacked.
well, what I'm saying is this: I was trying to not use the idea that women and men are having less of the same thing. I'm saying my mind was going to the idea of how can we rid ourselves. Well, anger issue. So when I said anger issue a while ago, I'd say that women are less angry than men, and so their anger would not allow them to die. And then we could understand that men are built up with more of the parts that will go to war and battle, and definitely be more likely to lead an attack on something else or against someone, right? And so with saying that, you are saying the traits of men by just being men do put us at risk for these issues. And so to measure that against a female who is not built for these things, I kind of like, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. So I didn't want to, for me, while we see the comparison or disparity between men and women in having these issues, I wanted to see the idea of, and when I said we used the word attack earlier, I am looking at what makes us so, what could cause us not to have these things and still have our anger and still have our ability to do to be who we are. What would what would allow us to have the health and still allow us to be just exactly what we are.
You're who you are. You just need to be able to manage those situations. You need to be able to manage your what life throws at you. It's a matter of how it is managed. It's a matter that's how it is. It's a matter of how it's managed. So men need to be able to have better diets, exercise, quit smoking if they do, manage their stress, get regular checkups, right? And the point is that it has been shown that um, heart attacks are 5 times more likely to happen after a severe anger outburst. And so, yes, there's a thing about, I don't know why you think being angry and hostile is a man's thing. It's yes, men are the ones who are more likely to have that. But why do men want to just be hostile and angry all the time?
But I don't think that's the case. That's the case. I wasn't on the hearing of men being angry and hostile all the time. But can you imagine a man fighting? Right now we're having so many wars, and he's there fighting. Women are there fighting as well, I might add. But then even in that condition, the woman seemed to have a better heart health than the man. I'd imagine. But then on the scale where men are constantly exposed to these abrasive conditions that will cause them to be exposed to this tap into this inner self that produces this kind of outburst or need, even if it's quiet. You see where I'm going with the conversation.
Correct, correct, and I
Yes.
agree with you. But the men do you don't have to stay in that situation. As I say, you manage your stress. Stress kills, and it causes a lot of conditions. But it's chronic stress, so we're always exposed to stressful condition. But it's how we manage our stress. So do we every day just be all stressed, or do we do some things that's for us? We listen to music, we take a walk by the beach, we go swimming, we talk to somebody, we have some interesting social interactions, we play dominoes, we do something, and those are ways to manage your stress. So even though you're in that stressful situation, the stress is not consuming you 24 hours of day. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't do anything because you're in such a stressful. Your relationships are going. You're socially isolating yourself. So it's a matter of managing that. So what you're doing is moving away. You're actually moving away from that stress by managing, getting healthy, um, getting a way to actually deviate or move away from that situation where you're actually handling that problem. You're not being chronically exposed or chronically in that situation. So you're doing some self health, some self healing where you're going to be. I don't know what is your thing. Whether it's going to the beach, you like to swim, or whether it is going to the beach, or talking, or playing a game, play some tennis, go play soccer, football, whatever it is. Men do different things, and that's what you have to do in order to heal yourself and in order to manage that situation. You have to, or men or people, it's just generally people, it's not just men alone. We have to make sure that we do some self healing and some self evaluation to see what's happening with ourselves. And then the next thing we're talking about is mental health, and that's important too, because we know that men's health is a critical issue. And because of social expectations and stigmas, um, men may not be diagnosed with the mental health conditions as frequently as women.
But it seems to me that it is easy to diagnose a man with that mental health disorder quicker. I mean, in my mind, very easily. I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't say quicker than for a woman, but very
When you say
easily.
mental health issue, what are you talking about?
It's like saying if a man get angry, somebody. It's like I remember just raising my voice and I was just talking, and somebody says, "Are you all right? Oh, you want you mental? How is that going? You know?" And right away, somebody, because you get angry, the mental health comes up as the first go to for asking the question, "Are you all right? Are you okay?" Because you're not calm anymore, and if you're not calm, you're mentally unstable. Is that a fact that someone who seemingly not be becomes angry or just went off, not maybe not for no reason, but it is easy to see that person as having a mental health situation, a mental breakdown, or something like that.
Not necessarily, Mikey G. Not necessarily. If you're having anger issues and you need anger management, you probably won't need a psychiatrist. But you need anger management. So that's a different story. That's a different situation. You know. So there are people who are probably having that issue, and um, we're not saying that if somebody is angry all the time, there must be something that's causing a person to be angry. And the person probably will need some counseling or something to say that they're having issues. Nobody is made to have those issues all the time. Men or women, you're not supposed to be angry all the time. Yes, there are times that necessitate an angry outburst, but it's not a lifestyle, it's not where you are, and you are just always angry, always upset. That's unhealthy. That is very unhealthy.
Like I put this together, Dr. K. On the front, that man has the responsibility to take care of his family. Let's even go back to heart health, just earlier that we spoke about, and just for men who will protect their family. They have a constant, while the children and the wife is at home are relaxing and having this sense of peace and tranquility. Usually, the men are responsible for the protection of the family, and the protection don't necessarily mean from just predators who would come to attack. It is from just about financial woes and everything else. And so, on a scale of 1 to 10, he's responsible 9 times out of 10. Or say in this day and age, maybe 8 times out of 10. But I don't think you can put that down at any point. And I think if I'm looking at it from that perspective, I believe that men will always be under that level of stress on a constant. Not he can't put that down because it's always there. He can't go to bed and relax and not think about the safety of his family or the well-being in all the areas, whether it be financial or just basic security of someone trying to harm them while they're in their sleep, right? And so I see these things happening. The mental health of the man would necessarily be at this point be he have to be more alert and proactive, which means his engagement strategy must employ some level of that ability to become the aggressive nature, to become aggressive enough that he could defend his family. And when I think about all those elements that he has to, in this matter, produce for himself or facilitate, or in this case, become, it tells me that I don't think we have much choice in the matter where it comes on to these things. We might be diagnosed as mentally ill because we are going to become from 0 to 100 within within a second or 2 minutes or a minute or less than a minute, 30 seconds and you're 100 already, right? And that might just look really wrong on somebody's who don't understand that diagnostic scale.
Yes, Mikey G. So understand where you're coming from to saying that men have that added responsibility,
Yeah.
but then is that responsibility consuming you?
Well,
When it consumes the individual, then obviously it becomes a mental health issue because everybody goes through protecting. Yes, a man, a family who has a man as the head of his family. What about a woman who, a single parent family, who where the woman has that responsibility to financially take care of her family and herself. Is she having that kind of anger issues as the man who is always angry? But she has the same responsibility. She has a financial responsibility. She has the responsibility to protect her child from predators. She has a responsibility to protect and then she is have an added responsibility because that is not the responsibility that would have been handed her to God would have given it to her because the fact that she's in a family and she is supposed to have a husband, she doesn't have a husband, so she has to now assume that responsibility. But is she having all those emotions that the man would have? Why the difference? And that's what I'm saying. There are people who are having the responsibility, but they're not being consumed by it. They're not being angry all the time because in order to carry out that responsibility to the best of your ability, the emotions have to be under control.
well, Doc, what you described a while ago to me is a fact that if we should look at statistically proven facts and see statistics as the identifier of these disparities, just by not being male would put the woman least likely to be at risk for most of these things. Yeah, statistically saying, it's like saying a woman not necessarily is going to be most likely to be a single mother or not having a husband. In question would be, do we have a statistic to say that there are more single family homes than there are persons who have the ideal mother and father couple in the home? We don't
I
have
don't have the
we don't we not
statistics, so I
I'm not
can't be able to tell you.
no, I'm not going to ask you to do that. So I'm saying it's possible that we don't have one. It would be nice to actually see if we could research and find if there's anyone who did that study though, because we hear so much more about the single family home idea than the actual home that actually produces the ideals. And it may seem to be the one that the single family overruns that and is more highlighted to say that it is more likely to happen or it is more in the society
I
than normal.
and I don't agree with you, Mikey G. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you that single families are more highlighted. I do not agree with you. It is not highlighted, but it is said that if you're talking about families, you have families that are single families, but the ideal family, and everybody says that. So I'm not sure
Well,
where you're coming with
no, my,
that.
my argument was, or my conversation was not about the fact that single family homes are more. But I'm saying that just by being, just listen to the, I'm just watching the conversation. And if it is so that we have more families that are not single family homes, whether be it by male or female, whichever way it goes, it simply means that just by not having the woman under that level of stress on a scale, like you are examining 1,000 persons, and of that 1,000 persons are 200 persons who are single family homes and are female versus the 800 that are regular, or say let it be better than that, the 400 then that would be single family home, and 600 that would be say run by the family unit intact. You're right. That would actually give the graph. That would give the graph the notion that this would be higher for men because they are in the capacity or in the category of more on in numbers. That's where I'm going with that. That's I'm just looking at the chart. I'm just thinking
Okay.
how it could arrive from that. But having
Okay.
said that, mental health and in the same breath, mental health becoming the same thing. That you could use the same principle of a graph because more men are in the sense say 600 men as I put it before of 1,000 families then and 600 would be men and women within the family and he would be responsible for his family versus 400 women or in this sense women being the head of our single family home which is more predominantly the women, then the graph could stretch a little bit and men could find themselves. I'm just working out the idea of the graph. I was just tinkering a little bit on that. However, the question I would ask is what is the best course of action for someone who is exhibiting mental health? Or how can we say the best tester of some of the things that you could say this is happening? Anger issue is one of them you highlighted a while ago that causes men or us to be looked at or needed to say, I needed to go check yourself out because you're coming down with something that is messing with your mind.
And the question is,
The question is, what are some of the things that would be identifiers of mental health that would spark a red flag immediately in
well,
someone's mind?
the point is that as we had talked about last week, we had said that things that the Ben would signals that somebody is having mental health issues is that they're basically um, we said anger, we said irritability, we said if they're aggressive, there's changes in their energy levels, their appetite, if they're having difficulty sleeping or sleeping too much, difficulty concentrating on stuff, always restless or on the edge, if they're having increased worry or feeling stressed, if they're misusing alcohol or other use of drugs or other things, um, if they have an increased persistence of sadness or hopelessness. And you will see these in your men. If they're engaging in high risk activities, if they're basically having headaches, always having pain, um, issues, stomach issues, not sure why they're having issues with their stomach or they're having headaches or aches all over their body, and you see them having obsessive thinking. The thinking is just not clear. I mean, some compulsive behavior. This is, you know, and if they're basically having doing stuff that basically that's out of sort. They're not used to doing this, and then eventually they might be having thoughts of suicide or even suicide attempts. But we don't want to reach there. But usually, irritability, anger, aggressiveness, loss of their energy levels. So they're sleeping too much, sleeping too little. They're basically not concentrating on loss of interest in what they normally would be interested in, increasing worry. You will see, and if your husband or a man in your life is going through any of that, it's something that will be noticed. So before it gets to the point where he becomes severely depressed or even want to think about taking his life, help is there. So it's a matter of identifying these issues and be able to be that support for that person. And it could be a point where you just need to talk. Sometimes he just need to be able to vent. It could be too in a safe space, and that's why I said men need to have a safe space, whether it's gonna be with other men or it's gonna be in a group. Sometimes men don't really talk to their women because of the problem might just be related to them, but they might have a safe space with other men that they might want to talk to. So if men tend to have social interactions or healthy social interactions, they may be able to, alleviate these issues. And if needs be, then they might need to see their doctor.
Oh. Or when you mentioned the part that it is difficult for the men to speak to their wives because they would.
I never said it was difficult. I said sometimes men do not want to speak to their wives. Not that it was difficult.
All right. All right, Doc. I want to thank you this morning for joining us for this morning Q&A, and of course talk a little bit more about men's health. As we traverse these difficult pathways each week and talk about our health care. Dr. K is here to help us to understand and navigate these questions and answers. And the difficult one is when it is that we are the cause or the effects of some of the issues that are actually underlined. It's a little difficult to swallow those pills. Dr. K, thank you very much for this morning's experience. I hope you listeners had enjoyed this one as well and have enjoyed this one as well. And will join us next week, same time, same place, Wellness Wednesday with a difference. Thank you.
I will be talking about sleep next week.
Oh, sleep depravity.
Sleep deprivation.
All right, thank you very much. Sleep depravity or sleep deprivation.
Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
And so welcome back. We have just joined you once again for Wellness Wednesday, and of course Wellness Wednesday is brought to you by Asai Ultrasound for all your ultrasound needs right here in the Grand Cayman Islands and beyond.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
So I was thanking you for joining me this morning for this morning's experience. We had a good talk with Dr. K this morning. I believe that it was beneficial for most of us. I don't know. For me, I certainly did benefit from the conversation this morning, and it was very enlightening to listen to some of the things that affect men versus women. And a while ago when I asked the question, when you look at the idea that sometimes it is the very persons that we should be the ones who console us, that sometimes we are affected by somehow, I don't know. But I want to say thank you for joining us this morning for the breakfast hour. It has been a minute, and it is indeed good morning. It's Wednesday, the 25th day of June. June is running away like a train. I have one more birthday to celebrate in this month that is special to me, and that's coming up on the 30th. So I'm waiting for that one to happen. So I guess one of these mornings I'll wake up and it's time to celebrate that birthday. But this morning, without any further ado, I want to celebrate this morning the lady Curly Karen this morning. I want to say a happy birthday to you this morning, Curly Karen. Of course, Curly Karen is our news anchor and breakfast hour host, and she also hosts the Grand Revival Bible Study Hour. And I want to say happy birthday to you. I don't have the birthday song, and the one I have, if I play it, I'm going to get a strike from our platform. So I am going to just say happy birthday, and may I have to just sing happy birthday this morning. Happy birthday to you. Okay? Get me singing. Compleanno feliz. Compleanno feliz. And so I have to sing the happy birthday for you this morning. So Curly Karen, I want to say good morning to you, and of course I have many more happy birthday like this one. I trust and hope today you're going to go out and do something awesome, something great, something wonderful. But nevertheless, whatever it is you do, ensure that God is in it. Alright? So, whatever you do today, keep me updated. We'll check in on you later on and we'll talk a little bit. And of course, I'm going to give you a one-on-one happy birthday. But I did have to come on and say this morning, happy birthday to you. And to tell you how special you are this morning. And so for our listening friends and audience this morning, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, or on our radio, www.flashpointmedia.ky. Our web radio continues all day, every single day of the week. And I want to say, I got some love and some hearts from Curly Karen. Good morning. I got them. All right. So, hearts to you, and take care. Have yourself a beautiful day. Happy birthday once again, and keep it together. Have yourself a beautiful day, guys. For those who are listening in Jamaica, Canada, Cayman, Grand Cayman, good morning to you. And of course, my friends across the US of A, VIP members, our logistics of Flashpoint, our core membership of Flashpoint, we want to say good morning to you. I want to say a big shout out to a special friend this morning, all the way in Canada, by the name of Mr. Hugh Brissett this morning. I want to say good morning to Hugh and one of his friends there. I don't remember his name now, but we had a conversation. But as we leave the platform this morning, as we go out this morning, I want to say, walk with God, take care. And lastly, happy birthday, Curly Karen. And may God continue to bless you. May you live to see many, many more of healthy birthdays, no sickness, and in good health.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sing better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours Are we part of this circus? Is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate. Do our actions even matter? Or is this a fate? At least now I'm feeling better, I know I'm here to stay. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sing better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours.
We use the internet to advance the gospel of Jesus Christ, transforming lives, renewing hearts, 24/7, 7 days a week. Internet radio in a class by itself. We're flashing the gospel around the world as a witness. And someone will say, you know what? I heard it on Flashpoint Radio, and my life has been changed. Flashpoint in a class